Here's the thing, a healthy lifestyle isn't restrictive or rigid. It is so important to build in some flexibility into your regular routine and habits so that you allow some space for when they inevitably get broken. There are so many times in our lives where there are some external circumstances or situations that really require us to pivot and adjust and be flexible and go with the flow because it's life. And I know this might seem really contradictory, especially since there are so many diets and plans that have taught you that you have to be strict with the way that you're moving your body, with your eating habits, your lifestyle habits. And even if you're not actually following right now a strict diet or a plan, the same mentality likely still appears subconsciously from it being so ingrained in our society. It's the whole all or nothing thought process here that doesn't actually work for any of us in real life. Being too rigid can also cause you to develop some unhealthy thoughts or behaviors that are centered around food or your lifestyle. And it can also be really damaging to have that really strict mindset versus just a little touch of flexibility. Plus, the reason we create healthy nutrition and lifestyle habits, whether they're related to what we eat or how we move or how we care for our bodies, is that we feel our best and we can actually enjoy this beautiful life that we're given. And if your habits are getting in the way of you enjoying your life, you have it completely backwards. So let's pivot and game plan this together. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to be really flexible with your nutrition and your health habits in a very intentional and purposeful way that keeps you on track with your wellness vision, keeps you feeling great, while also, of course, giving you the freedom to enjoy all those beautiful life moments. Being too rigid can look like feeling really stressed out about breaking your healthy habits that you have established, or feeling like you have a lack of willpower or lack of determination or lack of motivation in certain situations. And here's one example that I find so common with clients. One situation that I constantly hear come up with them and also our community is about going out to eat. I've had dozens, if not hundreds of women tell me that they're eating really well during the week, but then they go out with their girlfriends or over to a friend's dinner party, or I don't know, even just a night out with their partner, and they don't follow the same eating principles and they end up eating the pizza, the chocolate, having the glasses of wine, you fill in the blank. This is also followed immediately by them sharing some feeling of like guilt or shame because they ate this way, feeling like they fell off the bandwagon, which is often causing them to give up their healthy eating habits for multiple days at a time, waiting for them to come up with that perfect time to start everything over again. It leaves them feeling stressed, anxious, and then they also don't have a game plan for the next time this happens. So I'm curious, have you ever been in a situation like this where you're feeling like you're choosing between sticking with your healthy habits in your routine or enjoying the moment of life? Like this to let me know if you've experienced something similar like this, because like I said, you are so not alone. I have been there and so have my clients. And here's the first thing I want you to know. One meal or one skipped workout or whatever it might be for you and your healthy habits will not make or break your health goals. Let me repeat this for you. One meal or one lifestyle action is not going to make or break your health goals. And this is why I constantly say that health is a daily practice. It is those small actions and practices that we make over time that create long-lasting change. And a study actually showed that when people are trying to form habits, perfection wasn't necessarily the key factor here. It was about repetition of the habit in the early days that mattered most. And we know this from a psychological perspective too, that repetition, meaning literally repeating an existing or even a new behavior you're trying to incorporate, is a key factor of how we create new habits over time. So that means doing something most of the time is just as effective as doing it all of the time. So that gives you a little bit of room for flexibility. In addition to repetition, consistency is another key factor in habit change. And it isn't just a fun phrase to say, popular amongst dietitians or healthcare professionals, like consistency is key. But it is true, consistency is key. So with that in mind, you can use the simple strategy of the if and then planning to add some flexibility into your habits. With if-then planning, you're actually helping yourself out by identifying the moments that you'd like to take a break from your habit temporarily. So the idea here is that you build in a loose framework or guidelines for when it's okay to break from a regular habit ahead of time. That way, when you're in that moment, you're not making decisions on the fly, impulsively, and when you break your habit, you're like, okay, that's fine. I feel satisfied, rather than looking back and wishing that you had made a different choice. So it's really just about planning ahead. So let's go through an example so you feel really confident here, and then also so that you can get a better idea of what this actually might look like in your real life. So let's say again, this is really common. There are constantly like sweets or snacks at work. People are bringing in candy, ordering pizza for meetings, sending cupcakes or cookies to celebrate birthdays in the office. All things that are amazing. But on one hand, you don't want to be so restrictive and rigid that you say, I can't have sweets, I can't have snacks. But on the other hand, eating these types of foods for a couple times a week isn't going to make you feel your best, and it might take you off alignment for your wellness vision. So here's how if-then planning really comes into play. So if you normally don't eat sweets, come up with an occasion where you would absolutely love to eat and enjoy sweets. What type of dessert would be a 10 on your satisfaction rating if 10 was like, I'm the most satisfied? What experience would a 10 be for you? I can almost guarantee too that eating store-bought cookies in front of your computer at work just like nonchalantly isn't going to truly satisfy your sweet tooth or even be an enjoyable experience, right? Like most of us, if we're really honest, that's like a 1 on the satisfaction scale. So instead, maybe go through something like, if I'm going to eat sweets, I'm going to really enjoy one of my 2 favorite homemade desserts with my husband, or there's this amazing cheesecake that I like at this restaurant. Can you see now how this gives you, again, that flexibility, that full permission to enjoy the desserts that you want, but it gives you some guidelines so that you aren't just like mindlessly or distracted eating when things are in front of you. And the key with using this if-then planning for these types of situations or exceptions or actions is to make them so that after you make the decision, you feel really happy, you feel content, you feel empowered that you chose to break your normal habit at that moment, rather than looking back and wishing you had made a different choice, or even just wish that you had added a few minutes of contemplation so that you really made that choice or took that action very intentionally and with purpose. So when you're thinking about using this if-then planning for these exceptions or these situations, make it feel special and make it feel like something that's really worthwhile for you, like a real pleasurable and enjoyment situation. And make these guidelines for yourself so that you can have that front and center and you don't have to be stuck with this whole spur of the moment decision making. It also helps to write it down. And this simple strategy can really give you clarity around what balance looks like for you. It makes it so much easier for you to hold yourself accountable. You can use this with friends, with family members too. And in addition to keeping this phrase I shared earlier top of mind, you can really help your shoulders relax a little bit and like ease your tension, ease your mindset by just knowing that, again, one meal isn't going to make or break your health goals. Consistency is really the key factor here, and also repetition. So lastly, when we also really take a big step back and we look at our lives from the mountaintop, really being able to survey all that we accomplish, all that we do in our lives, it is so important to remember that our life is a path. It is full of challenges, successes, and we really have to put our human nature to the test by adapting to whatever might come, and also giving ourselves a lot of compassion. And if you're working on creating or maintaining healthy habits, be sure to grab my free guide for creating healthy habits with ease so that you can really create these habits that last for life and they're easy and simple to follow through. So just follow the link around this video to download that. And if you liked this video, as always, let me know by sharing your biggest takeaway, and be sure to follow or subscribe for more videos like this every single week. And if you need any more inspiration for what you can do to support your mind, your body, and your spirit, definitely head over to nutritionstrip.com, where you'll find hundreds of healthy recipes, articles, all to inspire your day-to-day life. So I hope you have a really beautiful day, and remember, health is a daily practice.